guys, we be here back with another video. I'm kind of sick at the moment, but nevertheless, I still want to do a bunch of videos to do with Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy. That's pretty much what I'm looking at the moment. Obviously, we know that the format has come to an end in a couple of days, and lots of people are going to be running loads of new decks. So in a new segment, I'm going to be doing the answers to the March 2013 ban list, in which case I'm going to go through each of the Tier 1 decks and talk about how they have handled the ban list and what has been hit. Obviously, Windups are going to be the most devastated. Nevertheless, today we are going to be talking about Pinpoint Guard. So it is a trap from Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy, and it is really generic, which is what I like about it, and it's really splashable as well. So it's pretty much for any deck that runs lots of level 4 or lower monsters, and it is somewhat comparable to Call of the Haunted, but I would say that depending on the deck you're running, Call of the Haunted wouldn't be as useful as this card. So first of all, its effect is when your opponent's monster declares an attack, you can target one level 4 or lower monster in your graveyard, special summon the target in face of defense position, and during this turn it can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects. So it's actually pretty good. You can use it in Heroes, for example, since all of your monsters are level 4 or lower. And the issue with it is that if it's MST'd, nothing happens. It does have an activation requirement when your opponent declares an attack. So unlike Call of the Haunted, you can't just activate it whenever the hell you want. However, if you have your graveyard set up already and you happen to draw into it, which is the reason why I would recommend only running one copy of it, then it's actually pretty good. So as I said, in Heroes, if you activate it and you bring back a Stratos, for example, you get the plus off it. In Windups, if you bring back a Windup Rabbit and you have a factory on the field, you can activate its effect and plus off it as well. Or you can just bring back a monster that you want to be indestructible next turn, so you can go into some sort of XYZ monster. So I, for one, discovered it first when I was playing Constellars. I hadn't even intended to find it, and I was looking at cards in Dueling Network, and then I noticed that it was actually from Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy. So I decided to do a video on it simply because I believe it has a lot of versatility, a lot of potential as a staple trap in the coming TCG. So if anyone else likes this card, please let me know. And if they're running it in any of their decks on Dueling Network, please let me know as well. But as I said, any decks that I would recommend, the likes of Six Samurais, apart from Grandmaster, they run level 4 lower monsters, Elemental Heroes, the upcoming Burning Nuclear archetype, Windups, since they run all level 4 lower monsters. And since XYZing is so prevalent nowadays, you can expect that the majority of people's decks are going to be filled with level 4 or lower monsters. So they're always going to have targets for this card. However, as I said, due to the situational nature of the card, you're not really going to run more than one copy of it. The last thing to say about it is the fact that it pretty much ends the battle phase for your opponent. Because if you bring back a monster that is indestructible by battle or card effects, it's basically like having a Spirit Reaper on the field, at which case your opponent wouldn't attack you anyway. So they get to call a replay, but unless their monster has some sort of effect which targets the opponent's monster and bounces it back to the hand or something, then there's no way they're going to get over you during the battle phase. So that's why I think it's a really solid, versatile card that stalls out for a turn, allows you to go into an XYZ, and it kind of stops your opponent in their tracks and makes them think. But anyway guys, that is it for the video today. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to let me know what you think of Pinpoint Guard if you intend on running it in your decks or getting multiple copies of it when it is released. I have a feeling it's going to be no more than a super rare, perhaps an ultra rare at most, because as we know, secret rares nowadays are reserved typically for the TCG exclusives, half of them at least, and then the other half of the secret rares are just tossed in, with a random assortment of cards. Like the Elemental Lords are always secret, for example, and I'd say the 7-star store will be secret as well. Anyway, be sure to comment, rate, and subscribe as always. I will talk to you guys later. Peace out.